Hey, this is Paul Kutzinger with the Amazon Alexa team, and today we are talking about how to get the Alexa Skills Kit CLI up and running. So let's go to a web page. We're going to go to alexa.design/CLI. It stands for Command Line Interface, and that will give you everything you need to get this up and running. Let's walk through the steps. Part one is getting the prereqs installed and set up. So let's do that first. Let's go to a new tab, and we're going to need to get a couple different accounts. We need a developer.amazon account. This is where you'll build all of your skill user experience. So we'll go sign in here, and go ahead and just create an account. This is totally free, and that'll allow us to get our skill built. The second account you're going to need, let's go to a new tab, is going to be aws.amazon.com. And we will just sign in here too. So if you need to create an account, go ahead and create an account. We want the basic developer level. Everything is going to be on the free tier. So that'll be fine. One little tip for you here is you're going to be in US East, Northern Virginia, or EU, Ireland. Those are sort of the two main places that you might want to be. Okay. So that gives us our two accounts. What else do we need? Well, we need to have Node 4.3 or greater. So let's go make sure we've got that. Pull up a command prompt, and here we go. Node version 4.5. All right, sweet. Good to go there. If you need help getting Node installed, there's a link right on this page that will walk you through all of the steps. All right, next, we need to get credentials. So you have to have permissions to be able to access the AWS account and the developer.amazon account via the command line. So let's go do that. A couple different things that you'll want to do here. Let's go start a new tab and close all these other ones down. So we're going to go to aws.amazon.com and sign in. Now in aws.amazon.com, we will want to make a new user, and the way you do that is through, in the search box here, you type IAM, and it stands for Identity and Access Management. So you click on that, and it'll give you your access. So I'm going to pick users from the left over here, and I'm going to add a new user. And the user I want to add, I'm going to add a user, there we go. The user I want to add is ASK CLI user. Okay. And then we want to do programmatic access, give them access to the management console, and that is good. So check those two boxes, leave all the rest there, and then go next permissions. All right, now what we need to do is we need to give this user, we're in the middle of creating it, but we haven't given them any permissions yet, so we've got to give them some permissions. So we're going to go attach an existing policy directly. And from here we can search for all sorts of policies. But the one that we want doesn't exist yet. So I'm going to hit create a policy and then create your own policy. And the policy name will be Alexa Skills Kit CLI user policy. Okay, and then we're going to go grab the policy document. We need to define this. So if I go back to the quick start, again, that's alexa.design/CLI, and then I click on this link here. It says set up credentials for Amazon Web Services. If you click on that link, it walks you through all these steps, but in particular, it has this policy. So just grab this policy here. This allows you to have access to Lambda and to logs and the appropriate IAM policies and so forth. Where are we at? Okay, there we go. There's the policy document. Let's just paste that in here, and I hit create policy. Oh, I've already got it created. Just go ask CLI user policy and get that guy created. So there we go. It's created. Now, let's go back. Here's where I was. I clicked on the other tab. See here, I'm adding a user, and I'm in the middle of adding this user. I was about to attach the policy. I hit create policy. Now I want to search in this box. The policy is made, but I haven't yet attached it to the customer, or to the user, I mean. So I hit ask, and then I can see it. And if I hit refresh, I should be able to see the one I just made too. So there's policy 2 that I just made. All right, so I'm going to check the little checkbox here next to it. All right, so you search for ask, find the ASK CLI user policy that you just made, and check the little checkbox next to it. And then we go next. And so this user has the policy that we just made attached to him. And then we go create user, and they will be rocking and rolling. Okay, so now I have a user, and they have their name, an access key, and some secret access keys. So the next thing we need to do is go make a credentials file. So let's do that. Let's go back to your command prompt. You need to be in your user profile here, like so. In fact, if you look here, it'll walk you through this. So, set up credentials, right? Here's where you need to be. On a Mac, you want to be there, and on Windows, you want to be there. Okay, you can check it out on that page. All right, so I am there. And so I'm going to go make a directory called .aws. Great, I've already got it. So I go cd.aws, and I can look in that folder, and there's nothing in there. All right, so I have a folder, it's all good. Now I need to create my credentials file. So one way to do this, you can do it any way you want, but one way you do this is just go echo, get the file started with default, and then credentials directory. Yeah, so there's my credential file. Happy times. All right, so let's go open this guy up. So we go there we go, finally got it. All right, got my notepad opened up. I go file, open, and I want to go to my profile. So go to my normal profile and go into my .aws folder, and then if I search for any kind of file, I should see that credentials file. Okay, open that up, and I'll see the default that I just started with. And then we need to add 2 bits to this. We need to add the access key and the secret key. Okay, AWS access key ID and AWS secret access key. All right, now we get these 2 values from the user that we just made. So I go back to IAM Management Console, and I have my access key right here. We'll just paste that in. Yeah. And then we have our secret access key, which you should never show anybody, especially in a video on the internet. So this user account will not exist by the time this is published. All right, so now I hit save, and now I have my credentials file. Okay, so that's good news. We are done with this page. Okay, so let's go back. So we've got all of our prerequisites done. We have our 2 accounts, we have node, and we have access and credentials. Great. So let's go start building this out. The next thing you want to do is grab, we need to do an npm install. So on this page you'll see npm install -g ASK CLI. So let's do that. npm install -g ASK CLI. And it is going. Great. All right, all installed. So now we're going to do ask init And then I'm going to use the default profile. So we just created that credentials file, right? So you want to just pick default profile, and then you want to use the default password. All right, so it's going to bring up a browser window, and you would sign in through that browser window. Sign in was successful. Yay, like that. And then, great, and you pick your vendor ID, and we are good to go. Okay, so that is up and working. So let's try some stuff here. Now you're going to be able to, let's clear screen. You'll be able to do, if I go back to this quick start page, there's a whole set of commands, right? The ASK CLI commands, you can go through and look at them all, see all the different kinds of things you can do to control both your developer portal pages with your model and your Lambda functions. Let's go through and do a quick little demo of building a skill. So we're going to go ask new skill name, and then we'll just call this one Hello Alexa. Let's go Hello World. Okay, so it's creating a new project. This project will include the code that you put onto AWS and your interaction model. So there's your Lambda function is in that folder, and then all of your interaction models are in that models folder. Okay, now we need to deploy it. So I could go through and make whatever edits I want to my model, whatever edits I want to my Lambda function, and when I'm done I just hit deploy, and it'll push all the changes that I've made. So a couple different things. One, the first thing it's already done is it has deployed the interaction model, and now what it's doing is it's building that model. So it's creating the training data for the natural language understanding engine. When the models get all built, then the next thing that it'll do is it will create a Lambda function and push that up to AWS. So yeah, it's doing that now, creating the Lambda function. And then it is done. So let's go see what it did. Let's go see what it did. So let's go look in the browser here. We'll close all these again. Oh, I didn't want to close the whole thing. Holy cow. All right. So I'm going to go to aws.amazon.com. And I sign into the console. And in the console, I'm going to go to Lambda. And we are going to look for our Lambda function here. And so I'm just going to search for, what do we call it? Hello World, I think it was. Yeah, here it is. Ask-custom Hello World default. And there's my code. I didn't have to do the zip and upload thing because I used this command line interface. And I can test it from here. So if I hit test, and then instead of choosing Hello World, I'm going to choose Alexa Start Session. So Alexa Start Session, this just sends a launch request. I'll hit save and test. And it should come back and say, it should send a response back that says Hello World. And there is the response, Hello World. Okay, so that's good. Now let's go look at it from the developer portal side. Developer.amazon.com. I sign in. I will go to Alexa. Go to my Alexa Skills Kit. And go Hello World. And then on my skill information, I can see my name and my invocation name, all those kinds of things. I can see that all my interaction model is done, configuration, so forth. When I go to test, The important bit here is that you need to switch this from disabled to enabled. So we want to enable your skill for testing. Okay? So you say enable, that's great. And then scroll down to the service simulator, and here you would just type open hello world. And there it is working. It sent a launch request, and it got back a hello world, and I can hit play.
Hello world.
So all is right with the world. Okay, so to recap, go to alexa.design/CLI. That'll get you all set up. It has all the steps in it. Once you get everything up and running, you can use the ASK CLI reference to see all the various things that you can do. And if you ever want to reach out and continue the conversation, I'm Paul Cutsinger on Twitter, LinkedIn, or however you like to go connect with people. Thank you again. I really appreciate the time. I will talk to you later.